Yeah, that was us playing again. Then.
No, I was not playing again.
There we go.
What is up, y'all? We are back. Marty's fired because he's late again.
Yeah, what a jerk.
But we have got Mama Marty again, and we've got a special guest, Ree, tonight, who's...
Yay!
Hello.
Is Ree short for anything?
Yes. It's a nickname off of a name that I don't use anymore.
Oh, okay.
But it's just like the tail end. I get a lot of Rihanna, which is not what it used to be.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, I just go by Ree.
That's fair enough.
I'll give you guys the inside scoop on a real name after the show off camera.
I'll cut you. I will.
You will? Okay.
I will. You won't make it. You won't.
Okay. That's true. She does work around knives and me. So that's not a good combination. She will cut me.
Oh, God. All right. Before we get into it, though, I don't know if you guys have seen yet, but the new unboxing video of Jackie is up and live.
Look at you plugging us.
Well, you've got to, because you were switch off after 5 minutes, so I've got to get it in early.
Doing a Dave.
We're not looking for watching it.
Yeah, I've got to get
Very
it in
nice.
early. And I am currently editing a video that we did the other night with your mum.
Lies.
I am.
Right off the rip, huh?
Don't fucking start.
Ooh, I was going to say under 2.5 minutes and they started fighting already. Oh, it was going to be good. It was going to be good.
But yeah, we got some really good stuff. Ouija worked really well, didn't it? I didn't film the Ouija because we did that more for ourselves. I wish I had now because it was really good. Yeah, so that'll be coming up. But yeah, so Ree, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Hefty has mentioned like about you coming on for a while, so it's good to have you on finally.
It is nice fun to be here.
So I know in the agreement we were talking about
What? Who you dedicating the show to?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, fucked up, boy. You fucked up.
Don't drop me in the shit like that, because you knew.
No, the Queen. Jubilee.
No thanks.
Why?
Oh,
It's her platinum jubilee. She's been reigning for 70 years.
what's up, Marty?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, hey, look who finally decided to show up. Hey, Marty. What's up, buddy?
Here we go. Hi.
I was just saying hello.
You're fired.
You're really defensive, Marty. I'm on your side here.
I'm just gonna let this happen. Just keep going.
Okay.
Tom, I just sent in the messenger group. I sent a link to that video that Tui was talking about in the comments.
Cheers, brother. Oh yeah, I'll bring that up. I will bring that up. Do you dedicate anything?
The Queen. It's the Queen's Jubilee, isn't it?
Yeah, platinum jubilee.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So we'll dedicate our Charles Manson show to her.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
It's a little bit odd, but it's for her. Happy birthday, Queen.
Oh, Ree, you look like you had something to
Has
say.
anyone? I have a question. Has anyone actually seen her, even like in the news, like a video of her after she had COVID?
Oh, no, I haven't, but I don't.
Has there been anything recent since she had COVID?
I want to say she did.
Because I have a theory that she's dead.
Oh no, she was live on.
No,
No, she was live on TV yesterday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen anything. The last I heard was like COVID, and then there's this weird like meme going around that's like the Queen is gonna die at this day and like this time or whatever. Which is a weird meme, but memes are weird these days.
I mean, if the Queen
And
died,
it's
I think
like-
that would be like global news. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
we get.
I thought maybe they were trying to hide it because
right? Yeah.
all the shit that's been going
They
on.
go into a
but
thing
good to
called.
know.
Go into hibernation for 12 days.
No,
She's a bear?
Oh, the cryo tank.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, you
Yeah,
do?
she's
Oh.
got to freeze. Got to be frozen for 2 weeks in order to stay alive every year. You know, keep her fresh.
Is that true? Is that true?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I won't be surprised. She's still going.
I
What
wouldn't.
kind of websites are you getting on?
Is that I'm eating
Yeah, I got
biscuits and
no
drinking
clue.
coffee tea.
Yeah, holographic. That's a theory. Holographic.
Anyway.
wow.
That's
Under
fair.
2.5 minutes. We lasted we
We didn't
bested
even last
ourselves.
We didn't even get into
2.5 minutes. So this show is about stuff.
I didn't start this.
You started that because you talked about the Queen.
No, I just said
Yes,
this is
Mhm.
dedicated to the Queen. It's her
Yeah.
70 years of being Queen. She's
Yes,
the
you just
longest.
started it.
She's the longest reigning Queen.
Good for the Queen.
Anyway, so well, I don't know what I was
Oh my
saying.
god, I need to join in.
It was a genuine
You wanna carry on?
question.
Charles Manson, get on with it.
Don't be harsh.
Yeah.
No, we're going to talk. We would.
Shut up!
Where's Mike?
So we decided that as soon as you guys started fighting, we were going to find things to busy ourselves with to kind of like be like, Mom and Dad are fighting again.
Exactly.
I think I'd just start vacuuming, like get myself out of trouble. I grabbed the Hoover. I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I didn't start that. You told me to.
Anyway, we're just going to spend half an hour talking about the.
There we go. He's vacuuming again. Bring it up
Anyway.
here, Marty. You do
Round
mine too.
three.
Yeah.
You carry on. I'm not going to say anything. You carry on.
Charles Manson.
No, we're going to talk about Ree's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ree was telling us that you guys that obviously weren't in the green room about your the summer house thing that you had and some of the experiences that you've had in this place.
Yes.
You really dropped
Um,
your chin up. Don't you ask her?
Forgive me. Is it too loud? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah, we can hear you.
You're fine.
Give me. I apologize. Give me 1 second
No problem.
to move because I cannot hear you.
It's like Marty's house.
Yeah.
Listen, that's why most of the time I'm going to be on mute.
Shit, you lost it.
Yeah, that's
There we go.
I apologize.
No problem. This is
Are
fun.
we,
Outside
are we
because the
getting a
studio is
tour?
too loud.
Where are we going? Looks good.
You are.
Yeah, I'm saying.
This is, New York. Nice and sunny.
Oh, that's nice.
I like how I knew that as soon as I started, or I had to talk, everyone else in the building would start talking.
Fair enough. No
I
problem.
knew that would happen.
It's live.
Alrighty, so
Oh,
there we go.
There we go.
So, summer house. Yes. My family has a plot of land out in the country that we all kind of go to. Like everyone goes and visits or stays there or something like that. So I have a theory that when everyone dies, they just go back to the summer house and haunt it because it's such a nice place. Because it is. And it was a couple months ago, my grandfather passed away. And I was like, oh shit, here we go. I was staying at the summer house, I think a month after that happened. And there's a room where he and my grandmother would stay. And everyone was over at the summer house. So me and my partner stayed in their room. Keep in mind, my partner is a woman. I am a woman. My grandfather was an Orthodox Russian Catholic. So I was like, whatever. We'll just sleep in this room. And it's like the second day in, and we are being. I will preface this sounds heavy. I think it's hilarious. So you don't have to worry about anything in the form of like prejudice or anything like that. But I am woken up at like 1, maybe 2 in the morning by this horrible like gut feeling. Like, do you ever are you walking downstairs and you miss a step and you know that feeling when you miss that step of like,
Yeah, that panic.
I was woken up with that and I was like, oh shit, I need to be awake right now. And I turn, and in the corner of the room, it's like, it's dark as is, but the moon's out and there's big windows to let the moonlight in. But the corner of the room, which should realistically have been bathed in moonlight, completely dark. Like, completely dark. And it was just like such a ominous, horrible feeling of like, you need to get out. So I woke up my girlfriend and we go downstairs. The feeling immediately like goes away. And I have a feeling that my grandfather had returned to the summer house itself and been like, I don't want those 2 little gay kids in my room. You're not allowed to be gay.
Damn.
Get out. And for the past, like, every other stay that we've been there, as long as we're not in the room, nothing like that has happened ever again.
Did you ever try going back in the room after that?
Yeah.
Like both of you?
I tried to, just to like hang out. No, just me.
Oh, just you.
And
Okay.
it was okay, but here's the thing. My cat follows me in every room. Like, it'll take him like maybe a half hour, but he needs to be in the same room as I'm in. That's just how he is. He, door open, would not enter that room at all. Won't enter that room at all. So it's not like the biggest, I saw an apparition or whatever, but I do find it kind of funny in that aspect of everything's fine as long as I'm not being gay in that certain room. And then it's fine. It's chill.
That's not. I think I like the smaller stories.
Yeah.
Because you hear a lot of the big ones where people have seen or one particular guest comes to mind. His name rhymes with Pukas.
I think
Who he had quite the tale, but I like this because I feel they're more believable.
Yeah.
I'll buy anything, like whatever. But it's more maybe relatable, or I can wrap my mind around something simpler like that, like a gut instinct, a feeling, a premonition, and just a general uneasiness. And actually appreciate the humor in that. That's actually kind of funny, but like myself, I find that kind of stuff a little bit more relatable.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it's not. I mean, what was you? I think Kerry, you were saying that like this kind of stuff, it's all very subtle, and it all. Oh yeah, freaking lights come on. It's all very subtle.
Yeah.
And, like,
So they can't turn that off, or they won't turn that off. Or they'll turn it on, but they won't turn it off.
Yesterday.
Really?
Turn it off.
Yeah, and one turned one off yesterday. I was shocked. I'm like, oh my god, you shut it off.
Wow.
That's the
No,
camera.
we did this with the video the other night for 2 hours and didn't go off once.
We did?
Yep.
Once.
I know, right at the beginning, then didn't go off for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And now it's just gone off. So
Huh.
yeah, we haven't gone to turn it off yet. But that just shows you then like how subtle these things are, and it's not like these things you
Like
see.
little kids are going to do it when they want to do it. Not when you want them to do it. They're going to do it when they want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be like bloody, I don't know, these films like Poltergeist or anything. It's all, or that like the series Paranormal Activity or anything. It's all very much like little things.
Yeah.
And you have pockets of it too. So it'd be like all go and then nothing again for ages, and all go and then nothing again. So
Yeah,
Yeah, you find that-
yesterday I got nothing from any of my dolls, and
Oh, we lost Ree. I'm assuming she'll be back.
and everything. So
yeah.
This is it, and we find that a lot when we do these investigations with the dolls. Like, we'll get activity, loads of it for like 5 minutes, and then nothing. It just stops.
Yeah, you guys recently went through a pretty big dry spell between the move and everything. And even when you guys got to the new house and took the dolls out, I think there was like one big thing that happened, but then it was like, quiet for a while. Yeah. No, is that how it was? I forget.
No, it is. Yeah. I mean, and last year, I know before we moved and we're doing stuff, it went dry for about 6-7 months.
I reckon you're going to get some good stuff with that new doll, though.
Oh, yeah.
So I can show. Now, while we're waiting for Reed to come
Dry
back,
like I'm
I'll
married.
show. Married is not fucking dry. Thank you very much. Not fucking dry. Hey, Reed. Yeah, so that's the new one. Yeah,
Hi, I'm sorry.
so pretty.
It's alright, don't worry.
She's
She's really pretty.
very active. Very active.
Is Jackie?
Jackie or Jackie.
Jackie.
She's
She
French.
sits up here. But yeah, she's the one we did the other night, and I do agree, Kerry. I think she's
She's definitely one of those is messing about.
Yeah.
Mhm.
she's the one that moved the little bafaboo. She moved that, I think.
Reed's back. There we go. I was just texting you, Reed. Oh, that's funny.
Did you not message him back? Like,
well, no, I just was like, I'll check and see a free text. Look, I'm just dumb. Okay, can we move on with the show?
We all went, oh, sorry, as well when she get there. But,
Is that summer house, Reed? Is it like really, really old? Like, has it got a lot of history to it, or is it quite a recent building?
When I say recent, it's like I think now 70 years, probably. My grandfather did build it along with his family.
Wow.
I don't know how old the property itself is. I don't know any of the history beyond my grandfather building on it. But I would say, I mean, comparative to me, I would find it old.
Yeah. Is he the one that's passed away? Is he the one that built it, the one that's passed away? And that was in that room? That's interesting. That sounds like on a lot of places, when someone passed away who built a property, they will like almost become like the protector of that.
Well, I'm still 70 years quite old because, like I said, our house was built in 2015. It's quite recent.
Yeah. But especially like the out there, because the house is made out of wood as well. There's a lot more breakage.
Breakage.
No, I mean,
boy, it's a tale as old as time. American houses just fall apart. they just break.
Hey? It's gone up again.
It is. Yeah, it's going off again.
It's messing about with me tonight. Thank you.
They're trying to get on with it.
Thank you for that.
That's why I like the cat
Keeping
walk.
us on
We can
track.
walk by themselves.
The cat won't gone off yet, has it?
No, cat one hasn't gone on or off yet. Rather, did you get batteries for that other one yet?
Sorry.
No, I did have one.
It's 2 weeks.
I know. We did have one, but I used it up last night on the
Listen, we
video.
can't afford a pot to piss in, let alone some batteries.
No, we're gonna.
Piss on your neighbor's yard. That's what we do.
We go through batteries like a bloody tiny child, don't we? Like,
Very.
Freaking millions of them. So I'm gonna get rechargeable ones for it, so we can actually use them.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Anyway.
But yeah, I definitely think like that's like the humour in that's quite funny. Actually, it's almost like he's. Do you think he's being serious, or because of his beliefs, or is?
Oh no, he's definitely being serious. Yeah, it's okay. He was very religious. When he died, we had the whole the whole like Orthodox funeral wake and the like, which is actually quite funny because they didn't have enough pallbearers, so my girlfriend had to be one of them. Very
I bet
last
he
minute,
did
which I'm
not
sure
like
that
that.
he did not enjoy.
Holy moly!
Yeah, I mean, no one really knew because she definitely kind of does look like a dude. So they were like, "You're a man." Just a bunch of really old Russian, people were like, "Oh yes," not being able to distinguish between a butch and a man. We're like, "Yeah, you are a man. Go pick." And then she did. But I find it quite interesting, and I'm not, Orthodox Catholic in that sense, but their view on heaven and hell, or their view is that after someone dies, their soul stays on earth for a little while, yes. And then I think it's 90 days, which is cool. And then after your soul passes on from the earth, it goes immediately to hell. And instead of you go straight to hell, and you have to hold out in hell for, I believe, 40 days or something like that. And all teachings of not sinning is to prep you for the time that you're in hell, because you will be tempted and you will be scared and, possibly dragged down. And as long as you don't succumb for the 40 days, then you will go back up to heaven. Jesus will come and bring you up, which I prefer a lot more.
Uh-oh.
All I'm going to say is I'm glad I'm not religious.
Yeah, me too. It sounds like an awful lot of work.
I'm going through that.
It's a lot of rules and a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't really want to go through all that.
No, me either. Reel me back. Sorry about this.
Well,
What was the religion? I missed the bit where she said the religion.
Catholic. I said I'm Catholic.
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
which is really weird how they
I've never read that in the Bible
like-
anywhere ever.
No.
but
No.
even still, like, where did they come up? Who came up with that number of 90 days and
I
the
know,
40
yeah, very
days? Like,
specific.
Not just that, but where did they come up with the thing that you automatically go to hell? I've never read that anywhere. Not in any
Well,
Bible I've
I
ever
mean,
read.
Anyway.
I guess it's just part of the belief system. You know what I mean? Not
I guess.
everybody believes in the Bible, but you know they have their own belief system. So
What happened to
Yeah, they get different like versions, and they like
Right.
interpret it differently and make their own.
Yeah, and it was Russian too. So I mean, Orthodox Russian. That's different than like Irish. Excuse me,
Right.
Catholic. To like,
Right.
Ree's fluent in old school Russian,
Oh,
Or even, like,
which is
Roman
super
Catholic.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
makes sense then. Makes sense. I thought her grandfather was American. I didn't know he was.
Oh no, her whole family is Russian.
Right, makes sense.
She has got like a Russian kind
Her-
of.
Look, yeah.
She's awesome. She's one of my favorite people. I wish we have really cool talks at work, and it was one of those things where I looked at a couple other guests and I was like, well, if I'm gonna like vouch for somebody to bring on the show, I definitely want to vouch for Ree, because like I know her in person, you know what I'm saying? Like I spent a lot of time around her and stuff. So although her connection is not the greatest right now, I can't wait to hear more of her stuff, because she's just a really fun person.
So was that summer house in America or in Russia?
America.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure where. She's probably just searching out a signal now, but
Yeah. We'll have to ask which
That's,
one.
Is she at university? She's at a studio.
No. Studio. So it's a studio is a part in her apartment where she does all her work, and so because she's an artist and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she's a really cool person.
Other people.
Just
Say
like
again?
a shared, like.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yep,
That's
yeah.
Ah, cool.
makes sense.
I do think like it's more, like you say, more believable when it's these subtle kind of stories. She could have really elaborated on that and been like, "Oh, it was like, I don't know, some
A cabin in the woods or something. And made it
Yeah.
Yeah. Either that or she walked in and like shit was flying all over the place, and not actual shit, but I mean like objects were being thrown and flung and flying and.
In it as well.
Keep repeating it.
The point.
and,
yeah.
and never gets the actual information."
Yeah, exactly. No,
And then do a part 2 and not show up.
Yeah.
yeah, no, because I know where to find Ree. So, and it's funny, we have a mutual friend. It's the dude who is the Bear Acid elf on the on all the Christmas cards. The one whose butt cheeks are always.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
she knows him, and we didn't find that out until like the second time we worked together, and we became Facebook friends. And we were like, "Hey, we have a shared mutual friend." And I was like, "I bet it's Jay. And yep, Dewey hit it. It was Pugh. That's actually how you spell his last name too. P-E-W. Jason Pugh.
Oh.
Good guy. Real good guy. So I guess until we hear back from Rhea, let's move on then, I guess.
Yeah.
Charles Manson.
So, she's back. She's back there.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Rhea.
Dude, she changes locations more than I do.
I know. That's
Everyone's moving stuff in right now because there's a showing going on and everyone's really loud and then someone knocked over the router and I just had to go and plug it back in. But we're good.
It's all right. It's only Marty. You're fine.
That's who locked myself in a storeroom so that I cannot be bothered.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, bless you.
Haunted cupboard, I hope.
Yeah.
Should we show the video?
Yes. So Charles Manson. Anyway, this video was what Tui was gonna was talking about. Was it Tui? It was Tui.
It was Tui, yes.
We're
Well, you're
talking
getting
about.
good with the names now.
I'm
Tom.
getting good.
I know you are. He actually wrote a list down. He actually made a list. He wrote it down. I'm very proud of him.
Remember.
Keep the list.
I don't know where the list is gone, but
Oh, me. I can't. I just know the brother with the guinea pigs. Who's that one?
That's T-Bone.
T-Bone. Yeah. So this video will put pretty much Charles Manson in a nutshell. It's only 30 seconds long, but this is like
Yeah.
yeah. I'll play the video. and then we'll get into it if I can find it. Yeah.
People look at you today, 20 years later, and they still have no idea what you're about. Tell me in a sentence who you are.
He's
Me
crazy.
without my coffee.
I've seen this before.
Me too.
Yeah, he's a nutter.
He's a bit like that guy who's in the courtroom with that Johnny Depp
I'm
thing.
nobody.
Yeah.
I'm a foxcar and I tell the one. And straight razor, if you get too close to me.
See, like,
What?
he's
Doesn't make any sense.
exactly.
He was crazy.
He's just a freaking like, yeah.
Yeah, he's not.
I think that's one of the reasons. I know of him, but I never followed. Because it just as soon as I started hearing about him, yeah, I'm good on that shit. That dude's completely off his rocker. I'm done.
Yeah, he was crazy.
I didn't follow the story.
I read Helter Skelter, that book Helter Skelter. He was crazy. He really was. Out of
Yeah,
his
that was
mind.
his biography, wasn't it? Or yeah, because he
He's
got
got a
that.
few books written.
Because the whole idea, wasn't it? He was a musician, wasn't he? And
He wanted to be, yeah.
he
You know, that was
apparently
Guns N' Roses did a cover of one of his songs on the Spaghetti Incident album, I believe.
Yeah. He hung out with one of the Beach Boys.
yeah, he did, yeah. And wasn't he? He wrote one of the songs the Beatles used,
Yep.
and that's what kicked off a lot of his anger and stuff, because he didn't get any mention in it, and then when he went to go get a contract with the producer, he basically denied him, and then that's when the tape murders came in, because she was at the property where this producer was supposed to be.
Right.
When he sent
That's
his.
That's where Helter Skelter came from, the book. They leaked the book anyway.
Mm,
That was a Beatles song.
yeah. Do you know really when I've been reading through about him and stuff? The weirdest thing I found, that all these people that followed him, because there wasn't just 3 or 4. There was was it 39 odd people? There's quite a lot.
Yeah, he brainwashed a lot of people.
Yeah, and they actually believed he was actually resurrection of Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
even
yet-
while he was in jail, women were writing to him.
Yeah.
Fancied him.
One of his followers is supposed to be getting out of jail here pretty soon. They talked about it the other day on the news that they're going to actually grant a parole. I can't remember which one it is now.
Wow.
Really? That's insane.
We're throwing an apron. We're hiring.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Primal, where we don't give a
That would
fuck.
probably be the right place.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, why, if you think he's Jesus, why would you go out murdering people? That's clearly not what Jesus would want, surely. I mean, I don't know how you would.
Yeah, but he was twisted in the head.
Yeah, but if because they were all Christians, weren't they? That joined him.
Well, I think a lot of them were on LSD and stuff like that, and you're on all these drugs and stuff. It's easy to brainwash you.
Not only they were young, impressionable.
Right.
Everything was kind of coming into their own at the time. There was a lot of the things were changing, man.
Right.
Mm. What are you saying, Ree? Sorry.
A lot of Christians say that they're Christian, but they're not actually Christian.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's very easy to say you're Christian. But
We call them weekend warriors.
Yeah.
It's I'm Christian every Sunday from 10 to 11. God damn it.
Yep.
Or you're so innocent minded, very easily swayed.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I say,
and back then it was, drugs were a big thing, so it's you were way easily swayed back then,
Yeah, it's all part of the hippie era.
And there were people, weren't they, from families that didn't have families, and he sort of scooped them all up, didn't he? All those sort of people.
Yeah, it's a cult, It's that cult mentality. Yeah.
It's not any different really than Jim Jones or David Koresh or any of them guys.
Yeah, the Moonies.
Yeah, it was all basically just he drugged them up and these vulnerable people to a point of where they would do anything for him.
They fancied him as well, though.
There was one, I did find it, I can't remember where it's gone now, but there was a woman that was supposed to have married him, but she didn't actually marry him in the end.
Married him, trying to marry him in prison.
While he was in prison.
Right, in prison, yeah.
I can't remember what it is now. It's
Very nice, Dewey.
He said he spent over half of his life in prison before he even went for prison for life. So he was in and out of prison for everything, from drugs, like theft, everything.
Yeah, I think he started going to prison when he was like, what, 10 years old or something? I mean, he was really young when he started going to jail.
Yeah, 10. I mean, did they do that back then? I mean, I know they do that now. I think you can.
He was in trouble with the law when he was a little kid.
Huh.
Marty, what'd you do, fart?
Yes, it's my fart, Marty.
Yeah, don't fart. Look what happened in the green room.
Dude, it's the dog. He just walked past me. I'm like, that's why you saw me talking to Kerry. I'm like, he's got to go outside or something because he smells like shit. Like, get him outside.
Oh, man.
How was his family life? Because, like I say, that can play a big part as well of how he grows up when he's older.
It doesn't mention much about family life to him.
I'm trying to remember.
Come on, Sheila, you got this.
Sheila's all over this.
I'd like to think that his family.
Apparently, I know there was a guy who
dragged
used
him up,
to babysit him, like as or a childmind him. Said that he was actually quite a nice person when you got to know him, and he wasn't.
Give him a chance.
I mean,
That's my buddy Charlie Manson. He's really a nice guy once you get to know him. I swear.
He said that he was a nice guy and he got on well with him.
Did
Like.
he do like low key things when he was younger? They like kill like animals and stuff.
Yeah, he used to like torture animals and.
Oh, so he was already
a nice guy.
Yeah, he's totally a nice guy, and then really stabbing a squirrel.
That's how you introduce him as while he's doing it. It's like, hi, I'm Charlie. I'm a nice guy.
So he was born in 1934, 12th of November.
Good.
Wait, no,
I want to say he was abused.
Probably.
Manson was placed in a home of an aunt and uncle.
From birth. So he didn't have his parents from birth.
His mother was paroled in 1942. Oh, there you go. Manson later characterized the first weeks after she returned from prison as the happiest time in his life.
Wasn't she a druggie too or something?
Yeah, says here she had drink problems and that.
Mother spent her evenings drinking.
Terrible people with vices like that. Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, damn, what the hell is wrong with people?
Yeah?
He says
I don't know.
That played so well.
School on fire.
That
was his
so when he was
first
9 years old, he set his school on fire. That's like his.
Yeah, he was not a nice man.
Petty
Once
theft.
you get to know him, though.
He went to prison at 13. At 13 years old, he went to his first prison.
I knew he was really young when he went to prison.
Run by Catholic priests.
Yeah. And he
Oh my God, oh boy, that guy. Ree, you look like you have something to say.
It was run by Catholic priests.
Yeah, it was run by
There
Catholic.
you go. There you
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was strict. What does it say there, Tom? Go back on it, Tom.
I'm going to hell for this. How many times?
Gorilla Glue, hello. What is up, Nick?
Gorilla Glue, what's up, buddy?
This could explain some stuff. It does say here that while he was at that school, he was allegedly raped by several students.
Yeah, it was run by Catholic priests.
That's what I just said.
That was a foregone conclusion, or a foreskin conclusion. I don't know how that
It
works.
says it was encouraged by staff members.
What's the matter, Marty? You okay, buddy?
He dropped the soap too many times in the shower.
Do you want to do that hoovering against Marty?
I don't know. I'm about to go like power wash the driveway or something.
First imprisonment.
He's completely illiterate. He couldn't read or write.
He could draw. He could do the Nazi sign on his forehead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
Oh, he's going to be now doing his court.
Oh,
He was.
Hang on a minute. He was literal, but yet he could write letters and send them off.
So when he was still
Or
a
song.
Great music.
Yeah.
One of his other crimes while he's still a teenager, he was caught raping a boy at knife point.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's when he like really started to get fucked up.
So basically, we can blame the Catholic priests.
You can bring the
Started
kids.
this whole
There you
thing.
go.
That started this whole thing, yeah.
And the fact that his mother was not there in his life. Well, no, but that's a lie though, because when she was in his life, it was the happiest moments of his life. So
I think, well, what he says as well, because before, I can't find it now, but before I was reading that he blames a lot of this on his, like, the system, like the prison system and stuff, and that's the way he is, because he's
not the people
institutionalized, man. So I mean, it's a broken system. It's never been great. Right. So I to have grown up in the system, I can't even imagine how that would have been.
Yeah, and like,
did that work?
There was one thing he said about he was blaming. What's going on?
I thought you were throwing food at me. Is that what just happened?
I'm joking.
I forget things.
Maybe Tom, you got to catch a chip or whatever.
You got to do it like the movie Goonies when he threw the candy bar at freaking Sloth's head. Whap.
Hi.
Reed, this is my daughter Morgan. Morgan, that's Reed. She's one of the girls that works there.
It's not just a random child walking.
Yeah, you'd notice like mine are like random kids that constantly around.
Hi.
Hi, Morgie.
Love you.
Why do you ever like just not recognize them? You just see them walk past like that's just another child. Like,
yeah, dude. There was like 6 kids here the other day. I've never even seen them before.
Did you know which one?
He's running a Catholic school.
Whoa! Hey!
Definitely not a priest. 100%.
Father Marty.
You're gonna get a bad name for yourself, Marty.
Wow! Oh,
I'm gonna change my name for the next show.
Oh shit. Anyway, I was gonna say, so everyone knows obviously who Zach Bagans is, and he's got his museum. So he's collected a lot of his stuff from Charles Manson. Some of these include his ashes, after like a portion of his ashes, because I know some of his ashes have been sold for use in painting. They've been used in tattoos.
Wait, that's not you, is it? With your artwork?
Yeah, you're not painting with ashes, really.
You see the look on her face? She's like, "Wait, what? You can do that?"
I need some of those.
Who would pay for that?
Generally, like people have done.
A lot of people like.
Here's the thing. How do you know they're not like cigarette ashes or
exactly.
like anything? Like
this is it. There is 2 people.
There's people that pay for farts in a jar. Enough said.
You're right.
So
listen,
there you go.
A handful of jars. I'll start making money easily.
Yeah. Somebody wants your farts, Marty.
There's also this picture here. I'll bring it up. There's 2 guys that bought these alleged ashes and did this with it. They
got it actually put in there.
They got tattoos, and they had his ashes put into the tattoo.
Into the tattooing.
I've seen that happen, like with people's like dead dogs and shit like that. But
that's not something I'd be proud of to have on my body. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me either.
What do you want his ash in you?
Yeah, exactly. You want
The one on the right looks a little interesting.
Excessive.
It's I mean,
well, here's the thing. People keeps you say these people are buying these ashes. I mean, when you cremate a human body, you only have so many ashes. So you've seen an urn, and it's usually not that much. So how much are they selling? Are they selling just a little bit?
A teaspoon.
Freezer bag.
Like they put it in the little bags that you put weed in, and they sell it like that.
Jewelry bags.
I think it's actually his grandson that has been selling these ashes.
Hard times.
Gotta make you those.
Yeah.
There. Show that picture there, Tom.
Times are tough everywhere, man. Everybody's hurt.
Oh, there you go.
That's how much you get.
The grandpa off.
I'll just bring up the one Googling it, and then you can see what I'm doing.
That's how much you get.
So they're the ashes there. That
you can buy some.
Yeah, that's actually the ashes.
That looks like Simple Spice.
It looks like somebody pulled out a chemistry set.
There's a painting.
Is that what's left or what's for sale?
That's it.
That's the paintings with his ashes in it as well.
Zach Bagans owns it.
There's an artist.
Yes, he does actually.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Oh, look at this guy. He looks like a winner. Look at the guy holding it.
Listen, Zach Bagans fell for that.
Like, hey guys, got any kids?
He's got the got a Skelter tattoo on his forehead.
What's he got in
Yeah.
his hand? Oh no.
Yeah.
Hefty with glasses.
No, I don't know about all that.
Adam, you got to get a tattoo just like that, bro.
I'm not gonna do that.
Come on.
There you go, Adam.
Even just with a,
You know, I appreciate it. Thank you.
dude, next week's show, you got to come up, just write it with pen or a Sharpie.
Yeah.
The next time, go ahead and write that shit right here.
I don't care for this at all.
There's an artist that makes Ouija boards, and then he puts his blood on the board as well.
Yeah. I hate all of you. All right, screw you too, Nick. God damn it, you too, Nick. Jeez.
Instead of doing that thing, we do a Nike tick.
Yeah.
Do it, Adam.
Just do it.
Yeah, he's in prison.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so he does that. What else? Oh yeah, the TV. So Zach also has apparently hit Charles Manson's TV from prison. I don't know if you guys have seen the show when he talks. He showed you the story behind this TV, but basically, this guy bought a car at this car of this guy that was just like, it was broken down in the middle of this field. It was like it was junk. So he bought it off him for junk, scrap metal. And inside the car was the TV, letters from Charles Manson, and something else. And they had the actual letters like confirmed by someone who does like the writing. You know, they check the writing.
Yeah. Like handwriting analysis.
Genuine, yeah. They analyzed it, and it was genuinely his writing. And on the back of the TV, it had on a sticker, it said "Property of Charles Manson" in his writing. Now, this guy apparently he would turn the TV on, but he could never get it to work. And I can't remember this full story, but basically, it got to the point where he would just sit there for hours at night staring at this TV while it's on like the static screen. And it even got to the point where he hired somebody to kill his parents. This guy did. But luckily, the guy he hired then went to the police and said, look, you might want to speak to this guy. And that's
He sounds like the world's worst hitman.
Did he take the money?
It's like, I'm going to tell on you.
We take the money first.
Yeah, right? Take the money, then squeal.
It's
stupid.
They reckon Charles Manson is almost like brainwash people with this TV by putting his his energy into it, sort of thing. Which is quite fucked up, really.
I mean, the phenomena of that happening is like, you guys know the Slenderman murders, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That happens all the time. People are very susceptible to that kind of thing. So he worked himself up and then couldn't kill someone.
Was horrible. I remember reading about that, and I've watched videos on that, and I'll tell you, that never gets any easier. Anytime I watch that, I'm like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, but then, you look at, there's so much horrible shit out there, man. There was one video, there was one point where it was just like violence for the sake of violence. It was all over the internet back in the day. I'm going to date myself now, but back in the late 1990s, when the internet was kind of still the wild, wild west, and there really weren't any rules. They had all sorts of fucked up sites, like Rotten.com, and you could watch murders and actual fucking suicides and slaughters, and at the press of a mouse and a button, and there was no age verification or anything. If there was, it was like, I'm 21, click, and then you could watch it. And
it's like the one website is called Steak and Cheese or something, and you could find all kinds of morbid shit on there.
I just went into PTSD when you said steak and cheese. I'm like, peppers and onions? No, God. I'm off today.
No work references right now. Okay?
I'm off today. I can't help it. I can't. That place has broken me.
But the people are easily led. They really are. People are very easily led.
I remember I was just having this conversation because the internet is very, very mellow as it was now. But even in my younger, I suppose, childhood, I was talking with my friend how it was just a normal thing as a younger kid to just Google ISIS beheading videos. It's a huge phenomenon. Everyone who's of my age, that was a normal thing that was just there to find. coming of age. It's like a coming of age thing at this point. Of like, oh, you remember when you saw your first beheading online, and that was so. Like, there is definitely like a difference because I've never killed anyone or stabbed someone because Slenderman told me, or tried to hire someone because I watched Stab.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm working on her, guys. I'm working on her. Don't worry.
Yes.
I have a long list.
Listen, you keep working on Primal, that might change.
Yeah. Gotta put up with him more than possibly.
There's two little girls that basically Slenderman told them to kill their friend.
Yeah, it just shows laughing. Like Reese says how susceptible everyone is to media. Like,
I think the girl survived. She didn't die. I mean, she wanted to throw on safety, but still.
But still, as a child, like going through that, forget it. Like, you're
she's scarred for life.
Yeah, she really got a lot of scars from that.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucked up though, like how.
Well, but you got to remember though, Thomas, they're young, their brains are still developing, and they're being influenced by something that really they shouldn't have really been involved with or seen at their age.
Mm.
It's too easy to get these things these days.
I was talking to a friend at work about this the other day.
You can get games now that are like 18.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend at work about this the other day. Like, I can't remember what films, it was a series she was watching, and like the first few were, I can't remember. Like they were rated like 15 or whatever. That you had to be 15 to see it, and then the newer ones were worse in like what you're seeing, but they're rated lower for like 12 or lower. So it's almost like seeing graphic like content now is becoming normal.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Jaws was PG when it came out. If you remade that movie today, that'd be an R. Even just as it stands, that'd be like a PG-13 R all day.
Yeah.
It is. I'm going to be annoying for a second, and I'm saying this because it is Pride Month, but I think it's... Oh, gosh, I'm sorry.
There's a ghost.
Well, yeah, that's a repeat of last week.
That's what I was thinking, too.
How do you have to treat me?
I put up a sign and everything. It's fine. But yeah, I think it's very funny that it would have to be like R18, I think it is now, for there to be like a gay person on screen who wasn't killed.
But, wait, really? Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think in 2018 they actually just lifted it, where you couldn't have like queer people on screen, but you could have like these Jaws being PG. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that's interesting.
Very interesting.
So gay people couldn't be gay, but you can see somebody get slaughtered.
Well,
at a different rating.
It would turn people gay, but then like all those slasher fix, or not fix, but like slasher movies and stuff.
Just like Nick just said, Chainsaw Massacre was PG.
Killer.
Right. So yeah, essentially, like whatever content you're watching, especially when you're kids, and that's why a lot of people are like against kids playing certain video games because they think it's going to turn them into mass murderers.
Yeah.
Because they're allowed to play like Grand Theft Auto and go down the street and shoot cops and people and run people over and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, like an interesting phenomenon about it's like, especially being online, anonymity feels so like secure because you're online, you're behind a screen, that you do actually shit and like say horrible things to people or send death threats or dox people, and then that is carrying over into real life.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
There's just really this insane article about it where like just shitty, you know.
Yeah. I watched this thing the other day as well. It was on a more subtle level, but they did an experiment. So they got like 50 kids, and like half of them would play very normal games like Tetris or whatever, very like simple games that aren't violent or anything. And then they got the other half to play like violent games.
There are intricacies to Tetris. I just say.
And then after it, they did a simple like interview. So this guy would sit down with the child, and the idea was he would start talking, then knock a pot of pens onto the floor, and it's to see how the child reacted. Now, almost guaranteed every time the children that would play the violent games just sat there and just didn't do it, just looked at him while he went to pick them up. The ones that played the non-violent games would either help him or be like, shit, like, do you want a handle or anything?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so subtle. They only did it over one day, and like people were like, no, it's never going to work, and it actually worked. Like almost all and these kids weren't necessarily like they hadn't already played violent games. They were ones that didn't really.
How old were they though? What was the age range?
They were young teenagers that were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
They're the most susceptible to being like,
that's what they're trying to say.
Turn one way or the other. Yeah.
They're trying to say it's like that playing those violent games is almost making them like subconsciously more like
used to the destruction.
Yeah, just be like, yeah, whatever, and like not
Right,
care.
they're unfeeling. There's no feeling now.
A couple comments up, it was desensitization.
Desensitization, yeah,
Right.
that's it, yeah. And the more that goes on, the more like you can become like, or like worse and worse. Some people, some obviously, it's like 1 in a million turn into like murderers or anything. But
Well, Nick also brings up a good point. He says, I grew up watching slasher movies as a teen, but never had violent thoughts. I just watched them because they were fun and inspired me to be a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I know, me too. I've always watched horror movies.
Yeah.
That's all I watch is horror movies.
Yeah.
But I didn't turn out to be a killer. Yeah.
Not yet.
And a lot of it too
I'm
is
young enough yet.
a lot of it too is like you can watch those movies. Your upbringing has a ton to do with it.
Yeah.
Like if you have a really bad upbringing
Yeah.
and you watch these things, it really just it flips that switch where
Right.
shit happens. You know what I mean?
It's funny as well because I grew up watching a lot of horror movies. Loved them.
Mhm.
Could watch anything, even like Saw and that inspired me to do all my like horrific like artwork and stuff, like my horror art.
very much horror.
But now watching horror movies, I don't watch them as much now.
No, you
Just
don't.
because I find them a bit more sick. I don't know that I'm older now and they repulse me. I don't know why.
I think
but
it's more because you know what goes on in the world and you know how
Yeah,
it could be
that
real.
can
It
be.
hasn't worked with me yet. I still like my horror movies.
that's
Yeah.
I watch like light-hearted ones, for instance, but ones that are like I don't know, Saw, or ones that
I love the Saw movies. Final Destination, they're good movies.
I just watched a video on that today, Sheila. Like, I have a few of them in the collection, but yeah, those are fun movies.
I have every single one of them.
I
What do you say?
remember,
Every one of them.
like
Yeah.
9 years old and watching Hostel.
Ooh, how old?
I haven't seen that one yet.
9 and watching Hostel. Okay, that made me.
Told anyone. I've grown up, and in my line of work, also in my artwork, it's all dead shit, and I don't like watching horror movies either because I'm like, it gets to me too much.
I'm not. I say that too, don't I? That's why I don't really watch them because I don't.
Yeah, that's
I
another reason
watched-
don't watch them.
We think we spoke about this before. I quite happily see like I don't know war movies or whatever, like Saving Private Ryan. See people like blown up or whatever. That's fine. But when I see people tortured or raped or something, I just can't. I can't.
It's you've got to think about the person that's managed to like get into that kind of like
Yeah, and because I can,
to make that.
I
They're
think
a
as
little bit
well.
tapped.
In my mind, I see it as real.
Well,
Because it's a-
Definitely.
Uh-oh.
Lost your
I hear
sound.
you.
There we go.
There we go.
Right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
But there's a dissonance because when you're a kid and you're watching that stuff, you don't know that it's real to
Mm.
that extent because you've been not sheltered, but you don't know that it happens every day, all the time, and then you get older and you know what the fuck is going on in the world, and you don't want to see it anymore. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I've watched Hostel. I mean, I used to have a strong stomach for all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, but now it just repulses me.
I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? How it affects different people.
Don't get me wrong. If it's a light-hearted, like I don't know, like fantasy horror, I'm not too bothered because it is fake. You know, I mean,
I just remember.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, that's
Well,
it.
I
Nick,
mainly watch it 'cause you watch it.
Into yourself or cut her camera.
someone about horror and things they've seen on the internet.
Just
me-
right back. I do apologize.
No worries, bro. Ah, she's back. She's back. Nope. Yeah. Yeah. So it's I don't know. It's just yeah.
Like I
That's
say-
a good. Mike, you've got a lot of kids. Are you very much? Do you not control, but do you vet things before you let them watch it or play that sort of game? Do you
Well, I mean, it depends. Like they've watched like the movie It, like It 2, It Chapter 2 or whatever. I mean, there's some pretty heavy dialogue as far as you know in those things, but they hear this stuff at school, so it's not
Right,
like
they're not
they're
little
introducing
either, right.
something new. You know, if anything, school's worse than watching the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm still going to send them to school. So if they're going to watch the movie, like I'll watch it with them, and then you know if they're getting older now too. So you know Morgan's 16. So
Right,
it's
they're
like,
not little kids.
I think that's better because I think like if you hide them away from all this stuff, they're only going to find it elsewhere when you can't watch over their shoulder.
And that's where it's like I'd rather know what they're watching and go, okay, that's fine, rather than them having going and finding it and not knowing about it, and then something goes completely wrong. And
that's the way I was with you when you were growing up.
Yeah. And it's still down to your upbringing, isn't it? Like it's how you're brought up, not what you see.
Right.
You're going to be the one that tells our kids, like, there's no such thing as Father Christmas, there's no such thing as Easter.
I'll be straight on that from birth. Father Christmas isn't real. I have to earn money for that shit.
You're the biggest Christmas lover. You're bigger than I am. You cannot.
Right, yeah, humbug.
Yeah, now I've got to pay for the presents. It's a different story.
Yeah, big difference now.
My brother did that one year. He became a Jehovah's Witness, so he didn't have to buy Christmas presents for the kids.
Sorry, what were you saying?
It's okay. I'll tell you what, there's this horror movie that I also saw at a very young age that you can show your kids when you have to tell them the tooth fairy isn't real. It's Darkness Falls.
Yeah.
I saw that way too young, and I was like, I want nothing to do with the tooth fairy.
Yeah, no shit.
That fucked me up because you're telling me that she can only get you when the lights are out, and it's a tooth fairy, and I'm like, I'm still a kid when I'm watching.
Right. See, your thought process on the tooth fairy when you're a kid, you think it's this little tiny person, like this little tiny thing comes and collects the thing and leaves you some money.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, my kids, they basically, it started out with, I believe it was Santa Claus, and once they found out that, well, Ethan's the only one, which he's not here right now. That's why I could talk openly about it. But with the kids, when Santa Claus, they found out wasn't real, all the shit rolled downhill. It was the Santa in the same conversation. Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy, like everybody just went away. So I killed a lot of birds with one stone, to put it that way.
I've seen those videos though, like kids when, like, you know, when parents have like dressed up as Santa and like going in their kids' room to like surprise them, and all of them are terrified.
Dude,
like,
creepy.
There's somebody in their room at night.
I have never told my kids, and even today, if they came up to me and said, "Is Santa real?" I'd go, "Yeah, of course." Oh, I can't tell them that. I can't.
Well,
and
here's
2 and 18 nearly. I just
and here's what I did with the kids. Like when the whole conversation came up about Santa Claus, there was a guy that the story is based around a real person who was giving presents out to people who needed them. So the story is real, but there's not this giant guy coming down a chimney that we don't have, dropping presents off, and flying around the world over one night. Like, it's just not.
Look, you guys live in New York as well. Like, where Santa is when you think of Santa here in the UK.
Right.
So, like,
well, the thing is too,
it's like Merry Christmas, everybody. Hey,
you got the Santa Claus app where you can see him. It's called NORAD. And you can watch him fly around on Christmas Eve.
Around the world,
And it's like the kids are sitting there watching, like when they were younger. I loved watching them watch it because they would sit there just, he's almost here, and they run up to bed. It was the easiest way to get them to go to bed because they knew he was getting close, and they went to bed. It was it. I was like, this whole parents now doing that.
When Marty's younger sister Cincinnati was little, and they were told that there was no Santa Claus. Well, she was like 5. So my husband put this like 15-foot pole together. He put a little ball light on it that flashed, and he ran through the field out in the backyard and made it go up in the air to make her realize Rudolph was taking off.
Oh yeah.
He was crying. Even Kyle was like, "Santa's real?"
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Dude, if I was living there out of what was I probably 30 at that point, I was like, dude, is Santa real? Like, did you just see that shit, or was that a UFO?
Yeah.
What was that?
But it's like, I'm not going to believe for another year, you know?
Yeah.
You do as a parent. That's brilliant.
Yeah, you do things like that. Yep.
I won't.
Yes, you will, Tom. If I'm here still, I'll be like, Thomas.
Dude, when you have kids, man, it changes the game because
that's not fucking real.
you get so much more into it when you have a kid. You have no
Oh,
idea.
yeah, you do.
He's gonna wrap up like his Xbox and stuff like that. There you go.
Yeah, I'm buying all these like I buy all these like toys myself just so I can give them to
All
them
these
for free.
dolls. There's your dolls.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something. As a dad, that
There
is
you go,
the best
kid. Have a
part.
doll.
When you can buy the kids presents, especially if you have boys and you buy their presents, you get to test them out first. Like when we got the Oculus this past Christmas, I was playing the Oculus in the bedroom while they were sleeping. I was testing everything out before they.
I don't want a boy. I don't want a boy. I want a girl. No boys.
We've got dolls for it.
Have 2 of each.
We got enough of those.
Have 2 boys, 2 girls, and then you know how I feel.
I always found it quite interesting because my dad would also get Christmas presents, but they were really for him. But you could tell. Like,
It's like, wait a minute.
I got like a folding chair that had like tool. On the sides, there was like little belts to hold tools. Totally for him. I mean, I use it. Sure, he taught me how to use it and where to put all the tools, but they're totally for him.
Yeah. It was one more present for you to open under the tree.
Who gets you a belt?
With Marty, Uncle Dumpy used to play with his cars and stuff, and he came out in the kitchen and go, "Mom, can you come, Dad, let me play with my toys?"
Yeah. He put the race car tracks together, and he'd sit there and he's racing the cars around. I'm like, Dad, it's Christmas. Why can't I play with my toys?
That's freaking brilliant. All right. Anyway, we have run out of time, but we are going to get into the questions. Before we get into questions, of course, Mum, Marty, and Ree, it's a pleasure having both of you on.
Love you.
Thank you.
We'd love to have you on again, definitely. We have learned that.
Hang on. Don't put her under pressure because she might not want to come back.
Yeah, she probably.
No. I actually already let Ree know that we play Cards Against Humanity at the end, so she was prepped for this. So if you guys want to skip trivia and get to the nasty, we can do it.
I don't think I have.
I don't like the way you said that, dude.
Oh, you make up your own answers, Ree. I did it for a long time.
Yeah, you can make it your own answers.
Make up your own answers.
Yeah, just make up anything. That's what we usually do anyway.
Hell
yeah.
I've got a whole box.
Yeah,
so on that note, if you're easily offended, this is just a game.
All right. So what I'm gonna do, because I still have kids here, so I'll read the questions.
All right, Nick, no
I'm
problem.
Gonna put earbuds in. You guys can answer them. That way, nobody can hear it, and I don't have to read answers.
Oh,
I don't know what your problem is, Marty. We're not that rude.
Okay, there we go.
I am.
I don't understand either. I don't get it.
Ree's just like out there like, yeah.
Oh, you're going to love this game.
We're going to get there's the blue box, the red box.
Yeah, we need to get the expansion.
We're going to get the expansion pack.
I've got the expansion pack here somewhere.
I gotta get me an expansion pack.
Me too.
Right.
Well, we were just talking about Santa Claus. So instead of coal, Santa now gives bad children what?
NFTs.
Huh? What's that? What'd you say?
NFTs.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna be really dumb now. I don't know what NFTs are.
Non-fungible tokens. It's the stupidest shit ever. Don't you know you're better off not knowing. You're better off not knowing. It's funny. But
did I not Google it?
Don't. It's dumb. It's
okay,
just.
What was the question, Marty?
I know, I've forgotten the question.
I'm so slow.
Right, Rob.
Chewy with the sand hand jobs. Make this way.
So he's going straight out of the back.
That loud.
Instead of coal, Santa now gives the bad children blank.
A windmill full of corpses.
I don't know. There's kids there, so I can't read my answer now.
They can't hear you, I don't think.
Oh, okay, cool. A bleached asshole.
Yes. I'm going for a saxophone solo.
Playing the same route, okay.
It depends on who's playing it.
That's fair. Thomas.
I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna go
mine's just so
blood, toil, tears, and sweat.
That was our Christmas bonus at Primal last year, actually.
My kids again.
Shit.
What you got?
Yeah, I'll put on that.
A lifetime of sadness.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I actually find Amy's answer the most relatable.
Definitely. What did Kerry go for?
Oh.
She already said yeah.
Kerry went for a saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah, saxophones go well.
Go on then.
All right. As a parent of 5 rambunctious boys, I'm no stranger to what? You shouldn't even have to pick a card for this one. This should be easy.
Oh God.
Dude, yeah, I got this.
I got pooping in a laptop and closing it.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense.
What'd you say?
A gossamer stream of jizz that catches the light as it marks through the morning air. I always like that one that uses the word gossamer.
I'm gonna say a stiff towel.
Oh.
What the hell? Hold on. Wait a minute. Whoa. What'd she say?
A
stiff towel.
I'm glad I'm wearing earbuds.
That was a great answer.
I was just going to go with licking things to claim them as your own. Mine's quite mundane.
Licking what?
Things.
Oh, thing.
Oh, all right.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Hold on. Put the brace for a minute, Tom. Shit.
Not the 90s again, don't worry.
It's always about the 90s.
I'm always
destroying the evidence.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
That's 100% true, actually.
I'm gonna go with drinking out of the toilet and eating garbage.
Oh, there you go.
Crusty socks.
I knew somebody was gonna say that, man.
Reed, he's right on with you. That's great. I think that's gonna be my next album: is crusty socks and stiff towels. Or those that'll be a blues mashup. I'm crusty socks and I'm stiff towels.
You can do crusty socks and all.
I can see that being some fucked up cartoon.
That'd be worse than Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Go on then, next one.
Yeah, well, here's the other side of the coin. What's a girl's best friend?
Oh.
You ready?
Who's laughing? Was that Nikki in the background?
No,
is Amy laughing?
Mine's gonna be my balls on your face.
Wait a minute. Listen, we got to revisit something here. Like,
no, we do not. Well done, Mama.
No, listen, I'm calling you after the show. We have some talking to do. I don't know how that fucking works. How did that happen?
I can't. Oh my god.
What was the question again?
What's the girl's best friend?
You know what? I'm not calling you after the show. I don't want to know.
Balls on your face.
Reed, meet my mom.
Oh my god.
It's okay. The last time I played Cards Against Humanity, I got to hear my dad say, tearing that ass open like wrapping paper on Christmas morning. So we're same boat.
Oh, yeah.
Marty, I'm not that bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
did you hear your answer?
I did.
Go back and watch the previous shows and look at all your other answers.
I sure will.
Being quite tame.
She's loving it.
Fucking hell.
Being tame.
What have you got?
Me time.
Me time. Amy says me time.
Girl's best friend.
We're going to leave that alone.
Yeah.
Talking dirty.
Oh yeah.
You gotta love that sexy robot voice.
Nor. Oh yeah. Do you like it when I do that? Oh yeah.
I haven't got anything good. All I've got is
God
a
bless
robust
Stephen
mongoloid.
What do you got? A robust
mongoloid. Yeah, dude. But
That's all I've got. I've got a pack
no,
of
it's
cards
okay.
here.
Oh.
Pick an answer. That's all I've got. That's all I've got.
I'm gonna go with an electric toothbrush.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can really
You
get
can
to
brush
that. Oh, you can really get that.
Really going to describe how to use it. Whoa. We're going to describe how to use it?
No, wait, what? I'm gonna,
The answer was enough.
Yes, please
That's
do.
good.
I'm gonna go with my black ass.
Yeah.
You are the whitest person on the screen.
Well,
Not too white.
I'm Irish.
Go on then, Marty. Hit us again.
I've got better ones now.
All right. Well, for you guys over there, UK, you know who Hannah Montana is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. In the new Disney Channel original movie, Hannah Montana struggles with what for the first time?
I got one.
Question 4.
All right.
4.
Foreskin.
Ooh.
Fucking hell. Oh, my God.
What'd she say?
Foreskin.
Oh, fuck's sake.
That's twice that's come up in this show. Ree, what do you got?
I was gonna say the war.
The war?
Just the war.
Just the war? Not any particular one?
Just
Yeah.
The war.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Yeah, I'm going with setting a mason jar into.
What is
I
it?
mean, I think anybody would struggle with that, dude.
I ain't got anything really good. That's all I can find.
It's really
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's actually pretty fair, too, for
it is.
those days.
What you got?
Sexual peeing.
Sexual pee.
Oh, golden showers. Oh.
Showers.
Struggle. Like, yeah, I've never peed sexually. So, yeah, I can struggle with that.
Oh, stop it.
Oh, you're missing out, Marty. You should give
Yeah,
it a
Marty,
try.
dude. What? Tell Kerry to loosen up, Jesus. So I'm gonna go with the Wi-Fi password because I read that. I was like, yeah, that's about on. That checks out.
Yeah, I like that. What we got? Go on then, hit it. One more.
One more. All right.
One more for we.
All right. Here's for the couples. A romantic candlelit dinner would be incomplete without what?
Marty.
Marty's candles.
I should have never read that.
Yeah.
I should have never read that question.
Business candles.
Why did everybody answer that simultaneously?
And then a posh one.
Posh wank.
A posh wank.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna go with sex with animals.
Oh.
What the hell's wrong with you? Why do you
That's what I got here. I don't know what to tell you.
pick something else?
I like that answer.
It's locked in.
What?
We've locked it in.
Yeah. Too late now.
I did.
Final
I
answer?
watched it. My final answer.
Oh, I've got it.
What we got?
I've got it. Viagra.
Yeah, well,
Okay. All right.
in my case, probably. Getting a little old, it's a little dusty. It's all good. Yeah, we've been through this whole conversation.
Ree, what are you going with?
I'm gonna go with the one that I know by memory. That I know is one of the cards, which is gonna be my
It's a card.
fuck
It's not
slave
like actually
Reginald.
from your memory. Okay.
What is it? My what?
My fuck slave Reginald.
I just read that one on the other page. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
We have
I'm gonna go with my gay best friend.
Oh,
It is not me.
oh.
Not me.
Marty.
I'm gonna go with waking up half naked in a little shack car park.
What do you say?
Wait, what is it?
Yeah,
You're
you kind of,
froze. You're froze.
yeah, you broke up.
Your internet's dropped.
Good thing they're paying for that 70 billion pounds a month internet, yeah, guys.
I'm on the same one
Still
now as
can't.
well.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I did that.
Both gonna
It's
drop out.
really bad.
You guys are freezing up again.
I had your answer, Kerry.
Oh yeah,
Dogging.
dogging.
Dogging. Oh.
Is that like seagulling?
No, dogging is way different, Marty. I'll send you a link later.
Oh,
No, don't send me anything.
He'll send you,
Send me
he'll-
shit,
he'll
dude.
send you photo evidence.
directions.
Also, my phone's got a virus.
What? That's not fair.
All right, everybody. Anyway, what are we doing next week? I don't know.
I'm assuming we'll find out Wednesday
Yeah, right.
what we're going to be doing for Friday. We'll advertise it on Thursday.
Also, don't you find, for me though, I find it goes really fast. Like, oh, it's another week to the show, and then
No, it really does. Yeah.
like 24 hours, and I've got
Well, I
nothing.
know. Why don't you just do the one that you were supposed to do, and then realise you fucked up? The
Yeah, well, I'm going to get the vacuum cleaner.
paranormal.
That's
Here goes Marty with the vacuum cleaner again. So are you guys.
So clean.
What were you saying in the green room? You were saying to Kerry.
What was I saying to Kerry?
The one that you.
Oh, I'm not here.
Listen, just me being on the show is going to get my house clean. That's for sure.
It was Bishop Charles Manson.
Oh, Anton LaVey, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we might do.
Show up on the show and I get my chores done.
Once again, it's been a pleasure having you on, Ree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, thank you, Rick.
I hope we haven't put you off.
We put you off.
And of course, Mom and Marty, it's great to see you again as always.
Yes,
I'll hear
thank
about it
you.
on Wednesday if we have. If she shows to work on Wednesday, that's a good sign.
Yeah, right.
That's a good sign.
Still in the air. Still in the air.
All right, guys. Love you all. Have a good weekend, and we'll
All
see
right,
you
you
next
too.
week.
All right, shout out to everybody in the chat and Amy.
Stay spooky.
Stay
See you later.
Hey, spooky.